Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 660 of the Immigration Answer Show. I'm an immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States, out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. We're live on TikTok and on YouTube today. How's everybody in TikTok land? What's going on? Probably going to start doing more of these simulcasts. Isn't that a great word? Simulcast. Broadcasting simultaneously on two different channels. That's like something. Hey, Vadim's in the house. There's someone we haven't heard from in a while. Dobry dien, Vadim. How you doing, buddy? We missed you. How's everybody doing? Let's see who else is here. Jennifer is here. We have True Story from Uzbekistan. Old Creaky Bones from Oregon is here. We got Saring and Friendly. Hello. Emmanuel says, thanks. You're doing an amazing job. I appreciate that. Our friend Lindy is here. Hina is going to start posting the link. Syra is here. Michael is here, checking in from Wilmington, North Carolina. Kofi, as he often is in Atlanta. We got Rich giving the big ups to all the Yardies. We got the UP, Joe and V from the UP. How about that? We got the Guadalupe Islands. I don't even know where that is. Eve is in from Maryland and is a proud immigrant from the Congo. All right. We have Edmond, Oklahoma, Vermont. Lynn is in Vermont, not St. Louis today. How about that? Carolyn says hello from Jordan, as she often does. We have Glenn, Tatianic. AJ's here. Dobry dien. So says Vadim. You gotta love it. Good afternoon. Baltimore. Patricia's here. All right. And Hina has posted the link. Ms. Hooley is out. We're going to have a visiting guest today at some point. My friend Tate is coming on. Tate is a personal injury lawyer. You know, all we talk about on here is immigration, but one thing that people don't know is that I have a lot of friends who do personal injury. And so I have a podcast for lawyers that I've had for 8 years. So I made a lot of connections. And so if you need a referral to a personal injury attorney where you live, if you have some kind of car accident case or some other thing in which someone was injured, we can connect you there. People are hopping on TikTok. You don't need to post the same question over and over. My good friend Hina is going to monitor those, and I'll switch back from, I don't know why that light isn't on over there. We'll switch back from YouTube to TikTok, back and forth. All right, give everybody a fair chance. And like I said, we'll probably be on TikTok most days this week. We're going to give it our best. Let's go ahead and say hi to Jason. Looks like Jason's at the pool. How about that? How you doing, Jason?
Excellent.
What's going on?
Just chilling today on this Monday.
You got a question for me?
Yeah, I do have a question. So I've been with my husband for 20 years. We've been married for 4 years.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. However, the last year has been a very threatening year with my husband threatening divorce, and just he's become very possessive, very jealous, very controlling of me, and I'm a little worried. I'm hoping we can get through this rough patch, but I'm not sure, and I kind of just wanted to know what would happen in the event that we had to go through the divorce process. Where would I stand for my immigration? He's made threats like he would just go to immigration and say that our marriage was for fraud, but we've been together 20 years, and I don't believe that. We've got married for love and to be with each other, not to be apart and go through a divorce. But I guess, I don't know. I feel very threatened and sad, and I don't know what to do.
I'm very sorry about that you're going through that. The big question, of course, is what stage of your immigration process are you in? Do you have your 2-year green card? Do you have a 10-year green card? What do you got?
I'm in the middle. The I-751 was applied for 19 months ago. And okay. It's just processing in the Virginia location of USCIS, Potomac or something. So it just said 2 months ago fingerprints were applied to file, and the fingerprints were taken like 4 years ago. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, well, that's not a big deal. So one thing, first and foremost, Jason, you should know that since you have your 2-year green card, you're in pretty safe space. You should be able to get your conditions removed, and you should be able to get your citizenship. You'll probably have to wait the full 5 years to get your citizenship, but
right. because my husband doesn't want to help me with that process. I already approached him with that, and he just said he's helped me along this stage to get my green card. That's all he has to do. He doesn't want to provide any more documents. So I'm like, okay, I just backed off with that, and it just blew my mind away. So
Did the 751, did you file it with a lawyer or did you file it on your own?
filed it with the immigration lawyer that I used from the beginning, who I haven't heard from in 2 weeks. So I don't know what's going on with that either. So I'm like very frustrated trying to get the answers, and I just want to feel safe and not feel like I've made a crime and make like him threatening me after 4 years of marriage and 20 years of a relationship. So
you are safe. Don't be afraid. We've handled many cases like this. Can you hear me? What I was saying is don't be afraid. You are safe. We've handled probably 60 cases just like this, and you can get the case. You can get your conditions removed without him. The question you have to decide is, when are we going to start separating? Because if you're going to separate sometime in the next 5 months, you probably need to let USCIS know, and then you need to file a new 751 without him. So, your lawyer has a conflict. Your lawyer can't help both of you, right? So because that lawyer was the lawyer for both of you, you probably need your own lawyer. And we would get all the documents from the old case, try to get whatever new documents you have of the marriage. But you should be able to get your 10-year green card, and you should be able to get your citizenship all without him. So from an immigration standpoint, you should feel in your mind like you're done with him and he has no power over you. Even if he goes to USCIS and says, he only married me to get a green card, like you said, you have a 4-year marriage and 20 years together. So you could document all that. So I don't think they're going to give that argument from him much credence, but you probably need a new lawyer to take over the 751, to file a new one just from you saying, this was a good faith marriage, it just didn't work out. And then when 5 years are up, then you can apply for citizenship.
What happens, like we're between the South and we go to New York back and forth? What's the story with the changing of address with USCIS? Like if I go up to New York for 3 months, do I have to change my address even though my residency is in Florida? Like, is there how do I control that? What am I supposed to do really?
Well, so who's gonna, I mean, are you gonna move together or are you gonna move separately?
Well, right now we've been going back and forth between Florida and New York. And
you have an official address, and you've always done that, so that's not a big deal.
Okay.
I wouldn't worry about that. I'd be thinking about, like, if he's serious about this relationship ending, that he's got a lot of power over you now, but it's all psychological. It's not actual immigration power. You, like I said, you can get your 10-year green card, you can get your citizenship, but as long as you stay in a relationship with him, you remain dependent on him. Once you get separated from him, then you can do things on your own.
Right. Is it better for me to file the divorce or for him to file it? Like, what's a better situation, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't.
All right. And once the divorce is final, is that when I would notify USCIS about the change, or once we're separated? Like, do they need the final document?
Well, see, that's what I mean about, you sort of have to come to a decision about what you want to do, because it's going to come down to, you're not going to be able to file on your own unless you won't be able to get it approved on your own without a divorce. So there has to be some sort of life decisions happening in the next few months to keep you on solid ground. Yeah.
I know it's a confusing process now, the 7.1s.
Yeah, if you want to email us, we'd be happy to talk to you about it, Jason. You can email us.
Okay, great. Okay.
immigrationlaw.com or call the office. Okay, buddy? But
All
first
right,
and foremost,
thank you so much.
Feel safe. Yeah, you're fine. Don't feel scared. I think we got a delay there. All right, hopefully Jason heard all that. All right, let's get over to TikTok and see what Hina has for us. You guys would probably laugh the way, okay. All right, well, let's see. What's the requirement? No, we're not doing that one. The office number is 314-961-8200. Someone's asking about that. Married 11 years, has been working to get papers with a lawyer. How would it affect his case if he gets divorced? That was what we just talked about. Okay, here's some questions from Hina. I have a 10-year green card. Can I travel to Guyana and return to the U.S. without a visa? It depends. The green card's not going to get you into Guyana. You're going to have permission from Guyana to enter. And I don't know that with a green card in and of itself and your passport from back home that they'll give that to you. So I don't think that's going to work. Is it possible to pause your green card marriage-based visa after your I-130 gets approved? I would say you do that at your own risk. If you do that, you're putting your whole case at risk and it might not work. All right. Alejandra says, Jim was not only my lawyer for the 751, but also my therapist. Well, I'm not a licensed therapist, but I did stay at a Holiday Inn last night. So no, I'm always happy to talk to people about the emotional side of things. I think that's part of the value of this show is that we help people sort of process the stress of going through all this. Jay is here. Hello, Jay.
Hey, Jim. Thanks for taking me on.
Sure, buddy.
I have been listening to your show for like a few years. This is the first time calling.
That's my favorite. Long-time listener, first-time caller. That's the best.
Yeah. I feel like I have a fairly simple question.
Okay.
I applied for my naturalization beginning early this month. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm nervous talking to you for the first time. And then recently I checked my driving record. And then I see that there was a sanction on my driving license in Florida.
A citation?
Yeah, I think it's some kind of financial responsibility citation
in
Florida in May 2022. But the thing is, we moved out of Florida beginning of 2022 to Michigan. And apparently, I called the Florida DMV and they said that this is a system issue that I have seen happen for people moved out of Florida. They don't know that they moved out and they just ding the people because they don't recognize the driver, basically the auto insurance in Florida.
Yeah.
And then I explained that, hey, I already moved out of Florida beginning of 2022. And they were like, oh, okay, this is a known issue. And they cleared that. And then I asked, how can I know that it is cleared? They sent me a clearance document on the portal. And then it shows that the question is that when I did the N400, I selected no for the citation thing.
Yeah.
What should I do if I get an interview? How should I proceed?
Well, first off, you will get an interview because everybody who applies for citizenship gets an interview. Number two, you want to have this taken care of before that interview.
I did.
It's all taken care of. So
yeah. When I called the Florida DMV, they're like, it's a known system issue, and they cleared that off my record. And then they sent there is a portal where I can go get the clearance certificate from there.
And do you have that? You have that?
Yep.
So then the last thing will be when you go to your naturalization interview, you'll bring your clearance certificate. You'll explain. I mean, you did a fine job explaining it to me, and you'll probably be nervous talking to them too, but you'll do fine.
Okay. All right.
Hand them the clearance. They might treat it as a citation. They might not. I don't think it's a big deal. They might amend your answer. They might not, but either way, it's not going to bring the proof and make sure it's a copy that they can keep. And then you should be fine. That won't stop your naturalization.
If I may, one quick question.
Sure.
So should I start the interview with that saying that, hey, there is this thing that I got, or should I just wait for the question to come and like, hey?
That's a good question. You go ahead.
Sorry, the thing is, it was never like, usually the citation is you get from an officer or something for speeding. This is just a system thing that is on the record. It's not like somebody cited it to me and nobody notified it to me until I did some kind of digging because I was just curious.
Yeah, sure. I get that. So yeah, I think when I go in, I would say, I would let the officer start and I'd have them say, let me see your green card, your passport, all that stuff. And they're going to say, I'm Officer Jones. I'm here to talk to you today, Jay, about your naturalization interview. We're going to go over everything. And then there'll come a time where they pause. Might be before the first question, might be after the first question. Don't like jump into the seat and like, oh my God, you won't believe it. After I applied for citizenship, I was being curious about my driving record. And oh my God, I found out that I had a sanction in Florida and it was for not having proper insurance. Like, don't do that, right? So take a breath, let them
Yeah.
ask the question, and then hand them very quietly, hey, I need to change one of my answers. Maybe, I don't know. I'm going to defer to you. But I did have this failure to proof of financial responsibility, but it's only because I moved. It was a glitch, and here's my clearance record. And then be quiet. And that's not a big deal.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Bye, Jay. Good luck. Let us know when you get your citizenship, okay?
Absolutely, will do. Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Okay, bye. Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting. All right, let's see. There's our friend. Okay, so we're going to take a little side tour here into personal injury land. My good friend Tate Meagher's here. Tate, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
So I was telling people earlier in the show that we're going to have you on for a couple minutes to talk about car accidents and personal injury matters and all that stuff. So, you know, our audience on this show, usually we spend a lot of time talking about immigration and green cards and citizenship and asylum and all that stuff. But you kindly offered to come on the show, and I wanted to give you a chance to introduce yourself and then talk to people about what kind of cases you handle, and then we'll go from there.
Sure. Yeah, my name is Tate Mayhew. I'm a lawyer, injury lawyer in Kentucky. We handle, a lot of car accidents, slip and trip and fall incidents, premises liability, dog bite cases. I actually used to work for the insurance companies several years ago, right after I got a law school, defending these types of claims in court. Kind of got my feet wet doing that, for the past little over 7 years now. Opened up my own practice representing injury victims in Kentucky, and have really just dedicated my practice solely to that.
Awesome. And so, a lot of people come from countries where there aren't really lawsuits over. I mean, I've seen all kinds of things just tangentially, like sometimes people go to jail for accidents, like just that's part of the, or if you kill somebody's kid, then the parents have a claim against you for a long time. Like there's all kinds of things that people don't understand. And so that's why I thought it'd be helpful for you. One of our regular viewers says, this is Creaky Bone says, when a dog bites you, Tate bites them back. That's right. So
I usually like to say, don't wait, call Tate. Right. Hopefully you obviously never have to call me, because nobody wants to be in that type of situation. But I like your viewer, though. I like your viewer.
He's a lawyer, so he's crafty that way. He was a public defender in New York, and now he's in Oregon, getting ready to be an immigration lawyer. So let's talk first about insurance. One thing that really makes me, and this is another thing that a lot of people from out of the country don't really get, and maybe they might be having financial issues, but one thing that I think most people make the mistake of is not having enough insurance.
Sure. And I 100% agree with you. And, I'm pretty sure, I know my state does, but I'm pretty sure every state requires that you have auto insurance if you're on the road driving a vehicle. And certainly, you want to be able to protect not only yourself, but your loved ones as well. So if you're in an accident, a car accident with somebody that was clearly at fault for the accident, or maybe just you think they were at fault for the accident, a lot of these people out on the roads might not have any insurance or just the minimum required by the state. One thing that you could really do to protect yourself and your loved ones is to get and you got to speak to your insurance agent about this. Make sure you have what is called uninsured motorist insurance and also underinsured motorist insurance. Because if you're in an accident, you might not be able to work. You're going to go through a difficult time if you're injured to the extent you can't work for a little while. And what uninsured motorist insurance coverage does is if the person that you were in an accident with didn't have any insurance, or maybe they were even if it was like a hit and run, it might come into play. You can pursue a claim under your own insurance policy. You're protecting yourself and your loved ones in the event that you're injured, and can pursue a claim under your own policy for your damages, like your lost wages, your medical bills, your pain and suffering, So I tell everybody to make sure that they have this type of insurance coverage. It's usually not that much to add it on to your policy. And I've seen it way too many times where I have a client that was injured. The other person didn't have any insurance to pursue, and they didn't have this type of insurance coverage on their policy. Now, also, there's underinsured motorist coverage, which is just a tad different than the uninsured motorist coverage, but it works kind of in the same way, in the way that if you're in an accident and maybe the other driver just has the minimum amount of insurance, in your case, your injury claim is clearly worth over and above the amount of those, insurance policy limits, the amount of their insurance. You can pursue a claim under that type of coverage as well to make sure you're getting, hopefully fully compensated for your damages.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think about insurance incorrectly. Like a lot of people say, well, the state of Kentucky or the state of Missouri requires you to have 25,000 or 50,000. I'm just going to have the bare minimum, and I'm not going to spend any more money on any other insurance. And I get it. Insurance isn't cheap sometimes, especially if you've had an accident or that kind of stuff. But really, if you buy that uninsured and underinsured coverage that Tate's talking about, that's all about protecting you. Because the insurance that you buy, if you buy, liability only, that's just going to fix the car or help the person that you hit. There's nothing left for you, right? And so if you're not buying that defensive coverage for yourself, I think you're really putting yourself in trouble. And so our good friend Robert said that he has, 250, 500,000 in coverage. So I guess that's how does that work? 250 is
per person, and then 500 per accident. So if there's 3 or 4 people involved in the accident, the maximum payout would be $500,000. But only one person could get the 250. I think he might have said, maybe I misread it, but did he have umbrella?
Yeah, and then somebody else was asking, what's umbrella? Can you talk about umbrella insurance?
So umbrella is coverage. I have umbrella insurance coverage. So if I'm in an accident and, maybe it was my fault. I hope it's not. I hope, I'm not somebody that's out there texting a driver or anything, but I'm also human. I mean, I've made driving errors in the past. If somebody, if I hit somebody and they come after my policy, I'm protected, so they can't come after my personal assets, more than likely, because I have umbrella coverage that protects in the event, I've caused significant injury to somebody, basically, that's over and above my policy limits.
What mistakes do you see people make after they're in an accident, especially if they're injured? What mistakes do you see them making at the scene? And then what mistakes do you see them making, in the weeks after?
Absolutely. At the scene, I see a lot. Well, if you're feeling any pain whatsoever, I'd recommend you go in an ambulance to get treatment. Go to the hospital, get medical treatment. Take photographs if you can. If you can't at the scene, call a loved one and tell them to come to the scene to take some photographs of the scene, because a lot of times the photographs can tell the story as to how the accident happened. It might save you. If the other driver's saying you were at fault. So definitely take photos of the property damage to the vehicles involved, but also the scene of the accident. And not just your vehicle as well, because I see a lot of rear end car accidents that don't really cause a lot of damage, maybe to your vehicle. Maybe you had like a tow hitch on it or something that really, and actually, to the rear of your vehicle. And because of that tow hitch, maybe your vehicle really didn't have much damage to the rear, because really all the force of the impact went all to the occupants of the vehicle. Make sure you take the photograph of the other driver's vehicle too, because in a lot of those situations, the damage to the front of their vehicle is pretty bad. And actually, those types of accidents are worse for the occupants of the vehicle that was rear-ended, because all the force goes to the occupants of the vehicle instead of the frame of the vehicle. So definitely take photographs at the scene. Call the police is huge as well, because you want your accident documented. You want to give your statement to the police officer that comes to the scene. They'll gather all the insurance information from you and all the drivers in the accident. So make sure you call the police, stick around at the scene. Now, after the accident, if you've, even if you haven't gone to the hospital, but if you're having pain the next day, or definitely get medical treatment is key. It's the best thing for your health, obviously. I see a lot of people that try to tough it out, and then 2 months later, they're still having issues. So don't be thinking, don't just assume it's going to be something that's going away. And if you're having the pain and issues, don't have big, long gaps of medical treatment. I know, I have busy life. Everybody is busy in their life, but if it's me and I'm having health issues, my health is very important to me. But the best thing you can do is get medical treatment. Maybe it's chiropractic treatment, physical therapy, whatever route you need to take. Get the medical treatment. That's not only the best thing for your health, but it's also going to be the best thing for your injury claim, because it's key that your injuries are documented by getting medical treatment.
All right. So the last question I have for you today, Tate, and thanks again so much for coming on. And I'm going to let you tell everybody how to get a hold of you after this. But I don't know that a lot of people really I think people are scared to call a lawyer like you. They don't really understand how it all works, especially people from overseas. Can you talk to everybody just so that they understand like how you get paid, or are they gonna have to pay you hourly? How does it all work?
Sure. Yeah, I work what is called on a contingency fee basis. I do not work on an hourly basis. I'm actually never going to ask for anybody to pay me by check. I'm never going to ask for their credit card. I'm never going to send them a bill. How we get paid is typically by insurance companies or large corporate defendants. When we make the financial recovery, the check is usually sent to us, and we take our fee out of that. We disperse, the settlement proceeds that the client gets out of that settlement as well. But we work on a contingency fee basis. My particular firm, we charge 1/3 for our attorney fee out of any settlement we secure, verdict we get. The fee is 1/3 of the recovery. So again, never going to send anybody a bill. If we don't make a recovery, if we don't win your case, we're not going to send you a bill. We even take all the risk. Because a lot of these cases, you got to put some case expenses into it, especially if you got to file a lawsuit to litigate the case, hire maybe some experts. We front all those expenses. So that's something else that the client's not going to have to worry about, in pursuing the case.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. So everybody, again, obviously usually on this show, we usually just talk about immigration, but we're going to have different lawyers on to talk about their practice areas. And if you need a connection, like I said, for personal injury cases in Kentucky, we always send them to Tate. And I think you'd be in good hands with him. I think I've referred you at least 1 or 2 cases, Tate, I think, or at least tried to. So yeah. So Tate, how do we get a hold of you?
Well, best way, you can look on our website, www.calltate.com, CALLTATE.com. And actually, Jim's kind of been a role model for me, because a mentor. He's one of the people that encouraged me to start, kind of go all in on my YouTube channel as well. So I answer a lot of common personal injury questions on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Call Tate, and then in parentheses, a Kentucky injury lawyer. But you don't just have to be in Kentucky to be watching those videos, because it's common questions that can happen, come up in any injury case throughout the nation. So I appreciate Jim, for having me on. On our website, we also have our phone number and a form that you could fill out if you have, if you want to consult with me or, anybody in my team about your case, feel free to fill that form out as well. Again, that's www.calltate.com. And never call me Mr. Mayhair or anything like that. It's just Tate. Just call me Tate. So
awesome. Thanks, Tate. I'm glad we did this.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. It's good seeing you, and talk to you again in the future.
All right. See you, brother.
All right. Thanks.
That's our Tate Mayhair. We're glad to have him on. Remember, if you need help on a car accident case, or I meant to ask Tate about dog bite cases. Like, I saw somebody who'd been attacked by a dog, and it can really be bad. It can really, really mess you up. And, I think there's some dogs that were almost bred to be violent. So I think that those cases, as sad as they are good cases to have. So let me know if you need connection to a lawyer in Kentucky or anywhere else. All right, let's get back to immigration and let's talk to Lana. Hi, Lana.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I think this is our second call of the day by the pool. Are you by the pool?
I'm actually calling from the Dominican Republic.
Oh, even better. The ocean. Oh my God, look at that. Wow.
It's a gorgeous day over here.
Wow. I liked Dominican Republic a lot when we went there 2 years ago. How you doing?
I'm doing well, hanging in. For those of you who don't know, I've joined some calls throughout my 2-year process almost now. Jim, thank you so much for always being so helpful.
Sure.
We are still waiting, my husband and I, waiting on the U.S. Embassy here in the Dominican Republic to schedule the interview. We were DQ'd by the NVC December 2023. And I've joined a group here in the Dominican Republic with the same type of CR1, IR1 cases.
Yeah.
And it appears that last week there was some movement. They scheduled a lot of people from October of 2023. And so hopefully we should have ours within 2 months or so. But I am actually not calling on behalf for our case.
Okay.
My very dear aunt, her son just became a citizen in June. I helped him out with the process. Now he wants to petition her for her green card. Now she is in the process. She's got a fiance now. She's in the process of getting married next year, and she wanted to know if she should wait to get married or file the petition before she gets married. Will that impact anything if she gets married in between the process?
The son is over 18?
Yes.
So the son can't do anything for the fiance / husband to be. So he'll have to apply for her green card, and then once she gets it, she'll have to apply for her spouse.
Got it. Okay.
In order to sponsor a step parent, the relationship has to be formed before the U.S. citizen turns 18.
Got it. I didn't think that was a benefit that could be extended to him. But wanted to know if maybe the date of when she gets married or filing the petition made any difference.
No, because none of that stuff's going to happen until she gets her green card, and they haven't even started that process.
Got it. All right. Thank you. That was all. And I love that you are bringing other types of attorneys.
Oh, good. Okay. I wasn't sure if people would like it or not.
Love it. I mean, a lot of people are usually looking for different, random categories of attorneys, and it's hard to find a good referral.
Thank you. Lana. Have a great day. Bye. All right. That was our friend Lana. Let's try to get some TikTok questions up in here. What does this is from Light World. What does B1 and H1 visa mean, and how do I transfer from an F1 visa, any of them? I'd be really worried about that, Light World. I think that a lot of people get in trouble trying to change from an F1 to a B1. That's just a visit visa. That gets you 6 months. H1B visa, you're going to need a sponsor. You're going to need someone to, an employer to sponsor, and you're going to have to go through the lottery. So check out my YouTube channel. Just look for Jim Hacking YouTube, and I have a ton of stuff about how the H1Bs work. We spend a lot of time on this show and talking about that. All right. Yellow says, hi, how do I get to know if I'm under deportation? Oh, okay. Well, you can call this number. Where's my phone? 1-800-898-7188. Yeah, I have to do it with my hand. 1-800-890-7188. And then you put in your A number. and you'll see if you're under deportation. It'll say case number 80767. It sounds like a robot, like a speak and spell. All right, so let's go to the next question. What can be done during administrative processing? My case has been 6 months since the interview. 6 months after the interview, you might think about suing them. Those are good. Post-interview lawsuits are good ones to file. Mohammed is here. Hello, Mohammed. You're on mute, buddy. Mohammed, you're on mute, bro. We can't hear you.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
So my situation is a bit unique. I'm a imam from Toronto, and I was able to get in contact with an organization that would want to hire me on contract. They've actually filed for a visa for a imam from back home, and so they're hesitant to file a R1 visa for me. And they told me that I should go on ahead with the TN visa. I wonder how that would work, considering that anything within this line of work, you usually go through a R1 visa.
Yeah, who told you that that would work?
Someone within the community. They said that you could file under like a seminary teacher.
So, but they want you to work as an imam.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's called immigration. It's called immigration fraud. So imam is not a religious. The job of imam is not on the TN approved list. So playing games with a job description when you really just want to stay there, that's just somebody being clever who doesn't know what they're talking about.
Got it. Yeah, that's why I was very hesitant. I want to like verify with someone like you.
I'm glad.
So yeah, I guess that was pretty much my question. Because they said that you could be a seminary teacher, you'll be teaching like Quran classes, whatever it may be. And
why not just do it the right way? Why not just do an R1?
They need someone in the interim, so that's why they were looking for someone.
Yeah, but they shouldn't sacrifice your immigration status in order to fill their needs.
Yeah, and that's sort of why I had the question.
Smart.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Sheikh. Masalama.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Ravi's here. Hello, Ravi.
Hi, Jim. Thank you so much. Nice to see you after a long time.
I saw you smiling in the waiting room, and you were making me happy. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm so happy, Jim. I'm from India and also St. Louis area. I was one time I visited your office in St. Louis.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I'm so happy. And I was stuck in India right now, Jim, because my father and my brother died during Corona time and the post-Corona time. I'm the only person to take care of my mom. Nobody is there. And I'm outside the United States for 4 years. And my 10 years green card is expired, Jim. I'm desperately wanted to come to United States. Can you give me a way how I can come? Because I have to take care of my mom who was sick. I took everything care of her for years.
So how did you get your green card? From marriage?
Yes, I got a green card by marrying a U.S. citizen. Yes, marriage.
Marrying a U.S. citizen. Okay, and how's the marriage? Is everything okay or what?
No, it went for 3 years, and she divorced me, so it did not went well. Yeah.
So most likely USCIS is going to say that you abandoned your residency in the United States, right?
Yes, I think. I don't know.
So yeah, I think they will. So let's put to the side that you had a green card and you've been gone for 4 years. You need a new way to come back, right? You need so it would have to be a spouse or a job or something to come back. I mean, in theory, you could try to come back on was it a conditional green card or a 10-year green card?
10 years green card, Jim.
So in theory, you could try to enter on it and see what happens. They might send you back. They might put you in expedited removal. I think those are both significant chances. And, they just cut, so I think that I don't think you have any other way to come though, right? I don't know, unless you're married to a different U.S. citizen, I don't know how you're coming back.
Oh, no, there is no other way, Jim. This is the only way I can come in. And I stayed for 10 years there. I worked there also in U.S. I suddenly came to India. I got my green card in 2009.
And when did you leave the United States?
2018 I left the United States
My brother,
before Corona.
why didn't you get your citizenship?
I don't know anything about this. I just on a green card and nobody has guided me. I don't have any knowledge. I was just working, I done a big mistake, Jim. I'm so sorry about that.
I think the only way you're coming back is if you marry a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
And it's got to be real, obviously. Thanks, Robbie. Good luck, bud.
Thank you.
See ya. All right. This is the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. We're live on TikTok. We got 99 people on TikTok. We got 279 on YouTube. How about that? We're having fun. Let me see if Hina's got some questions for me. This sounds interesting from Tabitha. My husband married someone in his country and he is still married. His immigration applied for the K-1. That sounds like some shenanigans. I don't know if I understand all that. My husband married someone in this country and he is still married to her, I guess. Oh, and he applied for K-1. Oh, well, that's sneaky. Got to notify USCIS about that or do something. I don't know. Patrick says, I submitted my marriage-based green card 26 days ago and still no receipt. Is that normal? Yeah, a lot of people are telling us it's taking like 2 months to get the receipt notices. It's crazy. Check to see if your filing fee has been cashed or your credit card charged. All right, let's go to Drake. Hello, Drake. You're on mute, Drake.
Oh, yeah. Now I guess I'm you can hear me. So I have a question that happened to my friend that we came to US at the same time this year. So my friend, when we were from the same country, and then he was applying for asylum for his case, and then he noticed that when he submitted everything to the USCIS, he noticed that his visa was given by someone was supporting him for the visa, and then the documents that he submitted, one of them was not the genuine one, was not the real one. He noticed it later.
It was a fake document?
Yes.
What document was it?
It was the invitation letter.
It was what?
It was a workshop invitation letter.
For a visit visa?
Yes.
And why was it fake? Why was it fake? Was from a fake person, or what was fake?
The reason was because someone was supporting him to file this, and this person is the one who made the letter for him, and then he told to him that it is the real one. The owner of the program. I mean, my friend was told to him that the document is a real one, and then then when he got to the embassy, he got interviewed. He showed the invitation letter that he had, but when he came here and he attended the workshop, he realized that it was something fake, and he has fear to get back his country as well. And then he filed his asylum to USCIS. And then he said, I didn't mention this into my history. It's the issue that he had now.
So
he's wondering, what are the consequences of this issue?
So he applied for a visit visa to come to the United States because he wanted to attend a workshop, right?
Correct.
When he got to America, did he go to the workshop?
No, he didn't.
Was there no workshop at all?
No, there was, but after when he stayed here for some days, just before the workshop, he noticed that what he had is a fake.
That his invitation to what kind of a workshop was it? This is all very strange.
Yeah, it was for the invitation letter, it was some gatherings, some sort of show, like a youth from all over the world had an event here, so he was representing his country.
So the show really happened. He just didn't go to it?
No, he didn't. Because of like another friend who has the true one told him that he has seen the list, and then he's not part of the invitee list.
And so did he pay someone back in the home country to help him get the visit visa?
No, he didn't pay to him, but someone told to him that like he shared his condition back home, that he has some pressures from the authorities in that country, and then this person told him, hey, I have a workshop which is happening in US, and then you can go there, you can present yourself there, and then afterwards you can claim your asylum over there, because of like you have some risks in here, your country. So that was the issue, that the person has obtained the letter from the other person, but he didn't pay to him.
So let's pretend I'm the person that you're talking to, your friend. Okay, so let's say I'm your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Did I know the letter was fake when I went to the embassy?
No.
You sure?
Yeah, this is what he told to me. Like he said, like I never know that it was because of this is the reason that he's worrying much about it now.
Okay, but did he plan on actually going to the meeting?
Yes.
So his position is that he didn't realize it was fake till he got to America.
Correct.
I don't know if they're going to believe him, but he can tell them that. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to believe him or not.
Yeah, and he didn't add, because of he got afraid to disclose, because of he didn't add his asylum history into this issue as well. This is the issue.
Well, this is something to explain at the interview if asked. I wouldn't just throw it in the asylum case overnight. But I mean, asylum is a little bit different. If you can get into the United States, I mean, I've seen people win asylum when they entered with someone's fake passport, right? So
yeah,
I just think the honesty is going to be the most important thing, but he probably shouldn't do this without a lawyer. It all seems very sneaky.
Yeah, correct.
I don't think they're going to believe him. And the problem with that is, as I've said on the show many times, the most important issue on asylum is whether they think you're telling the truth. So if they think you lied to them before, then they're going to think you're lying now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense. That makes sense. So, and then what are the consequences that he might face? This is what he's more worrying as well.
Well, they would just deny him asylum and say he's a liar. We don't believe we don't believe how he got into the country. Why are we going to believe the threats that he says are back home?
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, Drake. Your audio is messing up, so I'm going to move on. I hope that answers the question. We got about 12 minutes left. I'm going to go over to TikTok and take a question. Andrew asks, what happens if you're on deportation, I guess have a deportation order, and you can't be deported? Can you reopen your case? Well, one thing is the Trump administration, if they get reelected, I saw they're really planning on trying to push countries to start accepting people back to those countries. But if you have withholding or cancellation of removal, not cancellation, protection against torture, cat protection, and you are ordered deported, if you have a new way of adjusting status or cleaning up things, you can try to reopen your case. It's a little bit tricky, but it is possible, Andrew. All right. Okay, Ozark Lloyd says, what kind of questions do you get asked in an F-22 interview? Those are going to be very fast. They just want to establish the relationship. They want to see who's coming, and they want to make sure that you still want to come and that your relationship with your petitioner is solid. All right, let's go to Zucro. Hello, Zucro.
Yes, hello.
How you doing?
Nice to talk to you. And my boyfriend, he's a green card holder, and we are planning to get married next month. And after getting married, we are planning to get married in Georgia. And we know each other like last 2 years, this year we spent together this summer, and last summer we spent together with him. And how long does it take for him to apply for me visa, like spousal visa, because he's a green card holder, but he's a Polish citizen?
And when you say Georgia, you mean the country, not the state of Georgia, right?
Tbilisi. No. Like Tbilisi. We are planning to get married in Tbilisi in Georgia, like next month.
How long has he had his green card?
Or maybe more than 10 years.
Why hasn't he applied for citizenship?
He just kind of worried about taxes. Later will be like different. Like he doesn't want to apply for citizenship. You know, we
Well,
talked
it's great.
about it. He said, "I don't want."
It'll take 3 or 4 years. If he doesn't get his citizenship, it'll go a whole lot faster if he goes ahead and gets his citizenship.
Okay, and is it? And I heard if he applies for this, like watch it one video, like is it now easy process to get like a U.S. passport for green card holders, like for 3 weeks or something? Did you heard about it or not? Like if you want to apply for a citizenship of U.S.
I mean, not 3 weeks, but we're hearing 3 to 6 months, so that's pretty fast.
3 to 6 months. Okay. And so if he keeps that just the same like status, and it takes more than like 3-4 years, yes, for us.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you for your answer. I appreciate you.
You got it, of course. Robert says Lionel Hutz is one of his favorite attorneys. That's the lawyer from The Simpsons. And somewhere around here, I'll try to find it, Robert. My son, when we moved offices, my son drew me a picture of Lionel Hutz, and I'll try to find it for you for tomorrow. All right, let's go to Mo. Hello, Mo. Mo.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
Everything is fine, Jim. I will make it very quick. Just actually, my son is he's a U.S. citizen. He's now 18 years old. Just I'm thinking, I know that he can submit for green card once he turns 21 years old. So
Right.
there is any scenario he have to do it, so everything will go smoothly once he submits for me and his mom for a green card.
Yep. Yeah. What's the question?
From now, he's now 18 years old.
Right.
Until he turned 21 years old, can he do a kind of I don't know, like arranging his financial situation or something?
No, other than get a job and have an earnings history, no, he can't do it. He can't do anything. He can apply for you the day after he turns 21. He can't start anything before then.
Okay, but I think he shall have like a kind of stable financial or income situation.
Yeah, he's going to need to be making like 30,000, 35,000 a year for 3 years. Otherwise, he's going to need a co-sponsor. Most likely, he's going to need a co-sponsor. So I would spend time working on that.
Okay, the co-sponsor, I can be like a sponsor?
No, it's got to be a U.S. citizen or green card holder.
Okay. I hear that like if I deposit amount of money,
No, you don't do that. Nope. Got to get a co-sponsor. That's it, Mo. Sorry about that. All right, I'm going to go back to TikTok. Got to get that co-sponsor. We don't mess around with that. I'm going to put money in the account. Can you get citizenship with a felony? Well, we're going to find out, Mary J. We're going to find out. I got a guy who got a 7-year jail sentence, and he completed it about 6 years ago, and we're going to apply for his citizenship. I answer that with, I mean, it all depends on what the felony is. It all depends on the history. Depends on how long ago it was. I don't want to be casual about that. It's very difficult to get citizenship with a felony. But in this guy's deportation situation, I was able to prove it wasn't an aggravated felony. So I feel good about that. Let's see. Shine says, is it possible to get approved the pending visa through K1 if you have a misdemeanor? Again, it depends on the misdemeanor. If it was some kind of sexual misconduct or stealing, maybe not. If it's gotten a fight, probably yes. All right. Victor's been waiting. Hello, Victor.
Hey, how's it going, Jim? Can you hear me?
Yeah, buddy. How you doing?
Hi, yeah, I'm cool. Thank you to take my call. Listen, my situation is this. I'm on a TN visa, and my immigration lawyer just sent the papers to perm, and it said that they're gonna take like between 10 and 13 months. The situation is that first there's two questions. One of them is that in May I have a DWI that just happened. I haven't even get the paper for the charges yet. I just dealing for the license right now that is sorted out.
Sure.
But then the question is how this is going to affect me, and the other question is I'm planning to going out of the country in 3 weeks, so I'm worried that this situation is going to pop up on my coming back.
Yeah.
I'm still, my visa is still until that 27, that TN visa, so it shouldn't be a problem. But the WYI, is DWI is worrying me a little bit. So that's what I want to know.
They might not let you back in. I don't know. They don't have to let you back in. They could just say, you broke the law while you're here. I don't know why we're going to let you back in. So no one can guarantee you're going to be able to come back in 3 weeks.
Okay, so that's probably a possibility.
Yeah, and the other question I have for you that you didn't raise is a TN visa is a non-immigrant visa, right?
Yes, it is.
But when you start the green card process, you're demonstrating immigrant intent. So I think that's going to come back at some point and haunt you too, that you're going to have a hard time getting a re-entry on a TN or getting a new TN once you start the green card process. So usually we tell people go from the TN to an H-1B, then do the green card.
Okay.
So I think that's a problem for you.
Okay. All right. So yeah, should I talk with my lawyers to see what they said?
Yeah. And Victor, have them put it in writing.
Okay. Thanks,
Victor. See you, buddy. All right. That was Victor. We're going to go a little bit long since we had Tate on. I can go on for about another 10 minutes or so. Let's go to Obi. Hello, Obi.
Hey, Jim. Hello. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Jim. Thank you so much. I'm calling you from Guadeloupe Islands, and you said you didn't know where that was. So
I don't. Where is it?
Yeah, it's in the Caribbean. It's a part of France, but it's an overseas territory. And the same way you've got Hawaii as a part of the United States. Guadeloupe is a state in France, but it's actually right next to Dominica. If you know Dominica, yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah,
I'll ask my son because he's the king of geography. I'll ask him if he's heard of Guadalupe Island.
Absolutely. Now, I'm a Canadian citizen. I'm not a French citizen, right? I live in the Caribbean, but I do have a quick question to ask you.
Yeah, sure.
Well, my question is, my fiance, we've been together for 4 years now, and we're actually planning to get married sometime next year, right? Maybe at the start of the year. But she was married when she was 23, and she got divorced 7 years later. She had petitioned for her previous spouse, who's now a green card holder. And I don't know how would that be an issue for me? Because I know you had an episode about this a while ago, right? So
yeah. I talk about this a lot. So, they're always wondering about multiple marriages, and then when you add the fact that somebody's gotten an immigration benefit already from that person, I think they're going to hold everything. I think they're going to hold everything up to more scrutiny. And then if that guy that she helped get a green card before has some kind of criminal stuff, that's going to be a whole other thing, right?
I see. Okay.
So I think you're going to have to be ready to talk about it if it comes up. I think that they're going to want to make sure Now she already sponsored someone for a green card and that kind of stuff. But
yeah,
I think you'll
definitely that makes sense, and I guess we'll be ready for that. We do plan to hire you at the time when we have our ducks in a row. And the other question I have, which is a very quick one, it's got nothing to do with immigration. You're a really cool dude. I wanted to know, did you listen to old school hip hop? Because sometimes when I hear you talk, right, you sound like someone that listened to a Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, all these groups that we are not mainstream,
Yeah, for sure. We were at yesterday was the Festival of Nations. So here in St. Louis, we have a refugee resettlement city, and so what they do is they bring all the countries together. Everybody has food booths and you can buy stuff, and the DJ was killing time between the performances, and we were up dancing, and it was all old school stuff. It was great.
That's nice.
I I worked at a record store in the '90s, so you can
Did
tell.
you? Okay, that
my
makes
music.
sense then.
Thanks, Obi.
Thank you so much, Jim. Enjoy the day. Thanks so much. All right.
Oh, what a great call. That was great. That's our friend Obi in Guadalupe Islands. We're gonna have to look that one up. We're gonna have to look that up. All right, let's get back to TikTok. RCJ says, hello, RCJ. Can I get my citizenship by joining the Air Force? I'm a green card holder. I have 3 months in the U.S. So, RCJ, the one thing I would say is, one, check message boards and talk to people who've been through that. My understanding is the government makes big promises that they don't always follow through on. That's all I can really say about that. So, if you have your green card and it's a 10-year green card, I might just sit tight and try to get my citizenship unless there was some like life-saving reason. Like if I get my citizenship, I can get my mom out of Haiti or something. Other than that, I would probably stay away from that if you can. Ben says, can an asylee travel to the home country after becoming a U.S. citizen? Oh my gosh. Can an asylee travel to their home country after getting their U.S. citizenship? I think the answer to that question is at your own risk. So in theory, you could. Beastie Boys for sure, Glenn. Beastie Boys for sure. So I think that's a real risk to go back to your home country after getting asylum. I think they could, in theory, try to take away your citizenship. Very unlikely, but because you promised that bad things were going to happen to you if you go back home. And as far as that, I have a ton of videos on this topic on the YouTube channel, so just check that out. All right, let's go to Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
Oh my God. Thank you for having me here. Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great.
All right. So I have a question. I am recently married 2 months now. My husband, he's a U.S. citizen. He sponsored his mom last year. He petitioned for her. Can he file my papers now or I have to wait?
You have to wait until mom moves to the United States, has a big old house, and is ready to go. No, I'm kidding. He can apply for you. He can apply for you right away. He can apply for both of you at the same time.
The family is making a big issue out of it and he doesn't want to sign my papers. Anyway,
no. There's no rule. I mean, as long as he makes enough money, he can do both.
No, he doesn't make enough money. So he had to get a co-sponsor for his mom because his taxes, I think he filed his taxes for only like less than 30,000, and on top of it, he have 3 kids.
Yeah, so I don't know what the family has to say about Jack Squat. They can all piss off as far as I'm concerned, but he's going to need a co-sponsor if he doesn't make enough money. So somebody's got to help you out.
No, my aunt is going to co-sponsor me. And also the other question is that well, we started to live this year before we got married recently in July, and he has a lease for his mom apartment because his mom take care of his kids. Can I get a lease for my apartment where me and he live, or that's going to be a problem to file the paperwork?
I guess one thing I don't understand is are you in the United States or outside the United States?
No, I'm in the United States. I live in New York.
And when did you enter the United States?
In 2018.
So you're out of status.
Yeah, I'm out of status. I came on a visitor visa.
So he should apply for you yesterday. He should have filed for mom before he filed for mom. But yeah, he should apply for you. And as far as a lease goes, you should only have a lease if the place where you live requires a lease. You know, don't make up leases. But if you and he are living together, have a lease.
No, what I'm saying, right? So the landlady, that's his cousin. I rent her apartment and he lives right in the street, a couple houses up. So because we married, we're living together, and she's refusing to provide me with a lease for my documentation to present to USCIS.
So just for the record, so what I say to that is I'm moving now. We're moving now. We're not staying here with these crazy family members who are going to F up my immigration case.
Okay, and my next question is, okay, before this marriage, I had an immigration case filed, and that organization that filed for my work permit and social, they're under investigation for fraudery right now. My stuff, like not my stuff alone, everybody that filed on the organization got denied, and I got a denial letter from USCIS stating clearly it's not going to affect my future filings. Do I have any problem here?
So you entered in 2018, and then an organization that's now under criminal investigation filed what kind of a case for you?
What kind of case?
Asylum.
What kind of case did they file? It wasn't asylum. It was I think a VAWA case.
Well, don't say anything about whether the VAWA case was real or not. But if it wasn't real and this outfit's in trouble, then I think you're in trouble. Yeah, yeah, because I have a video on the channel. It's everything's cool with the second marriage or the second case, but the first case they're saying was fraud. That's a really big problem.
Yeah, but that's not my fault. I'm a victim of fraud. They just take all this money from all these people. They targeted Guyanese, Jamaicans, and they promised people work permit and social. And now we hear we didn't get anything. Everything was denied, and now we hear the organization is under investigation.
Did you sign the forms?
I signed all the forms that I'm sending to USCIS.
And so the forms that you signed have a thing on there. Everything you're saying in here is true.
Yeah, but they didn't allow you to read the forms out. They're just doing the paperwork and they said sign here. Like they didn't give people time because every time you go to the office, the line is still outside the office.
So here's what I'll say about that, Lisa. I believe you. I believe that the organization did it just like you said, but I also believe that USCIS is going to use it against you. I think both things are true. I believe you. They're not going to believe you. They're going to think you paid money to try to get permission to stay and to get a green card. And so I mean, it sounds like everything's a bit messy, but that's the most scary thing of all about all of the cases. So if I were you, what I would do is I would hire an attorney to track down what was filed, to research that company, to see if we think you could still get a green card. You might not be able to get a green card. You might not be able to, because they might say that you and everybody else that went through that organization committed fraud, and that's usually what they do. Even if you're the victim of fraud, they don't view it that way. They view you as benefiting from the fraud or trying to benefit from the fraud.
Oh, wow. Well, we didn't even know that was fraud because one person got the work permit and the social from the organization.
I know, but it's not true. I mean, anybody can get a work card by lying.
So you're saying if my husband put in for my papers now, this is going to be a conflict?
Well, what I'm saying is I would research it. Yeah, I would research what's going on with the organization. I would research what are they exactly charged with. But most importantly, I would track down to see what you signed. Because even if you are going to get your green card, you're going to have to do a whole lot of explaining. Like if I'm the officer and you show up at in my office and you're trying to get a green card from me and you're sitting there with your husband, I'm going to separate you two. I'm going to scare the shit out of him and say, your wife committed fraud. She filed a bogus VAWA claim. She signed this form that said under penalty of perjury that she was a victim of violence and that she needed protection in the United States. Did you know that? And did you know that she's under criminal investigation for that? And that if you proceed with this green card case, that we're going to come after you too. And you can make your life a whole lot easier by withdrawing this case because you don't want to be part of her criminal problems. That's what's going to happen.
Oh my God. Hi.
But if we can research the file and I mean, if everybody's educated and if we can show that you didn't know, I mean, I think that's really hard. I mean, are you a native English speaker?
What do you mean native? I'm from the Caribbean. I speak fluent English.
So that hurts you.
The organization is under investigation. The people that took everybody's money, all the immigrants' money, they locked them up, of course. And they had the numbers of where people that apply to these places, they can call and make a report, of which I did. I called, they didn't answer, but I left a message. They reached out back to me. I gave my report. They asked me to get all the paperwork from starting to the finish.
Yeah.
I did started that, but my mind is just all over the place because I recently married. I'm dealing with my dad who's sick, and then now I told my husband I think we should proceed and file this paper, and then he's saying no, that we can't file because he's talking to his mom and it's gonna affect her paper, impact her paper. I'm like, your family is not the immigration lawyer. Like, what nonsense? Like, speak with a liar.
Yep.
So I got a whole plate full right now. And then my dad is undergoing a heart surgery next month, a serious surgery. So like my focus is all over the place.
I understand. Good luck, Lisa.
Thanks, Jim, for having me.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
All right, everybody, that'll do it for today's show. We'll end with a banger. That's a sad situation. Hopefully Lisa's dad will get through heart surgery well, and that she'll be able to clean this thing up. But, once a year, there's an immigration lawyer who goes to jail, and the immigration lawyer has been filing fake case after fake case after fake case after fake case, right? And in my experience, the lawyer definitely gets in trouble, but man, I've seen cases where, let's say the fraud didn't even start until 2020, but somebody used that lawyer back in 2014, and even they get slowed down, because if you've got the fingerprints of a bad lawyer, or in this case, a bad organization on your case, that stink stays with you forever. That stink is stuck on you. So I think oh, well, I was just a victim and I didn't have any role in this, I think that's just setting yourself up for getting nailed at a green card interview. That's what I think. All right. Wow. We're finishing with 108 and 293. Not bad. That's 400 people watching the show. I hope everybody on TikTok liked it. I enjoyed having your questions. We'll be back tomorrow. Same time tomorrow, noon Central. We'll be back for another edition, episode number 661 of the Immigration Answer Show. In the meantime, if you're thinking about hiring us to be your lawyers, you got two avenues to reach us. You can call 314-961-8200, or you can email us info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. If you're on TikTok and you haven't checked out our YouTube channel, you should. Just look for Jim Hacking. If you're on YouTube and haven't checked us out on TikTok, we're up to like 135,000 followers on TikTok. We are on WhatsApp. I don't know that number. 134,000 followers on TikTok at Immigration Hacking. And there's a lot of fake accounts, so be careful on TikTok. Don't be sending people money. WhatsApp is 314-685-6254. Don't believe all the fakes. I agree, Audra Lynn. This was a good show. We'll be back tomorrow at noon. If you're looking for free resources, you got TikTok, you got YouTube, and then you got our Immigrant Home Facebook group. Join us in there. There's thousands of people in there talking about the immigration process every day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Tina, for your help. Bye, guys. I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.